good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're listening to the broadcast, checking us out on Shopify, or watching us live right here, right now. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your money, or shmoney, as Constance Carter would say. Today, we're getting into a conversation that's all over social media right now, the soft man era. More men are saying that they want peace. They want to be nurtured. They want to be taken care of. They want to be treated like the prize. They want you to breastfeed them for life. But the real question is, can a man demand princess treatment and still be respected in a relationship? Because women are saying, okay, but what are you bringing to the table? And men are saying, I'm bringing my presence. My presence is the present, boo. So today we're talking expectations, emotional labor, gender roles, and whether modern dating is starting to feel like a standoff instead of a partnership. Let's get into it. So I'm joined by beautiful co-hosts and queens. Aisha, financial services expert. Hey, girl, hey. Shalaye, CEO of Vital Source Realty. Nomalanga, educator and M3 advocate, marriage mother, and money making. Dominique Morgan, I didn't get your title. Nurse.
Influencer. Yes, ma'am. Nurse influencer.
Nurse influencer. Okay, I didn't get your title. I'm so sorry. And then myself, hey, I'm Dr. LaNee Javette, brilliant to bank strategist and business coach. Before we even get into the video, give me your first, just the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that a man wants to be treated like a princess. I'm gonna start with Nomalanga.
I don't think that there's such a thing as a man that can be a princess. It really is. The producer already said, I would say it's rubbish. It is rubbish, because men can't expect to be treated like women, and women can't expect to be treated like men. And when we do reverse gender roles, we're going down that rabbit hole. And unfortunately, we're living some of it. It's a disaster.
Listen, princesses, kings, and queens. Shalaye, what's your first thought when you hear men are demanding princess treatment? First of all, I don't know none of these men, but that's a whole nother topic. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know the men who are demanding princess treatment. So I was just about to ask, is that what they're saying? Are they saying princess treatment, or are we saying that what they're demanding is princess treatment?
Like, are we assuming that that's what they're saying? Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, so that's to you. So your response was a question. Okay.
Yes.
Dominique, what's your first thought when you hear a man wants to be treated like a princess?
Confusion is my first thought. I'm just confused because it's like they want it one way, but then they want to be treated a different way. So I'm confused. Like, how can you be a king and a princess? Like, it doesn't make sense. So it's just confused. It's confusing to me.
Okay. Just how can you be a king and a princess? Okay. Aisha, what are your thoughts?
My first thought was, interesting. Who raised you?
Okay. Well, let's get into our first video. And then we're going to keep the conversation going.
I love your hair, LaNee.
Oh, thank you, girl. I did it the other day, a little something. I'm in the gym. I got to lose some weight. And so this is me, my attempt to not let my hair be the reason that I don't go to the gym and lose weight. Okay. I don't know if we're going to our first video then. So
and still be the head of household, or does drizzle mean you've officially handled over the keys?
Who gonna be the boys? Who gonna be the boys at this point? Y'all want to get flowers on dates, and y'all want us to? What is drizzle?
I don't know nothing about that. I've never said that in my life until then.
Come on, somebody. You know what? I'm actually not even mad at this because I feel like a lot of, and I'm not talking. Let me clarify. I'm not talking to the kings who handle their business and run households and provide and protect. I'm not talking to you. But there's a lot of men out here who have already handed over the keys. It just wasn't a name for it. So now we have a title, and we're going to start saying, ladies, he's in his soft man era. And if he's in his soft man era, you need to run. Period.
Well, Kiki, I will say this. I will say this. I'm definitely not with the drizzle. You don't have to give me no flowers or nothing. But this may be a backlash from the era of the generation of women who have been taking advantage of men and only dating them for meals, only want them to, you got to pay a bill before you take me out. You got to get my hair done. You're going to pay for my babysitter if you go out.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys felt taken advantage of. Maybe they saw that and was like, well, what's she doing for me? Because it might be an effect from that. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So let's just first get opinions on the video, right? My assessment is we want what y'all got. That's how I assessed it. Like, y'all want this soft treatment. We want the soft treatment too. That's what I got from it. Dominique, what did you get from that video?
I agree with what you're saying. And I think that he was saying that like it's a cause and effect, because you guys did this, now we're doing this, which it doesn't make any sense, because you have a right to choose who you want to be with, who you want to hang out with, you know, who you want to date. And so if there's a cause, and if you're going to do a cause and effect, you need to evaluate yourself and the women that you choose to go out with, and not punish all women and say you want this soft guy era, but you want to be the man. It doesn't make sense. It's confusing.
Okay. I'm saving Noma, but so Shalaye, since you gave me I'm gonna go to you next.
Did I? Oh, I didn't even see my face. Never lies.
I saw your face. So go ahead.
I say let them filter themselves out. I agree with Dominique. Mm-hmm. If you're the type of man where you're like, oh, this is my time to get back and I want to be in my soft man era, do it. And let them filter themselves out and let people choose each other based on their own value system.
Okay. Noma, what are your thoughts? Do you agree?
I think he made a really, really weak point, because women that take advantage of men have always been around, and they will always be around. If a woman says the condition for taking me out is you got to pay my babysitter, you can simply just say no, and then take out a woman that doesn't have that requirement. And as Shalaye says, the same thing will happen now. Now, if he says he's in his soft girl or soft princess era, or whatever it is, he naturally filters himself out. We should actually be grateful that they're being vocal about it, because losers have always been around who want women to take care of them. They just weren't vocal about it. So thank you. Thank you for saying it out loud.
Okay. Aisha, do you want to add anything when you saw it? What were your thoughts?
Actually, I was glad, because then he gave more insight of what he was trying to say. And at the end of the day, it's true. You filter yourself out. If it's not the right person for you, it's not the right situation, then you find somebody else, because there's always going to be a woman that needs more than another woman in the relationship. It's just natural. Just find the one that works for you, but don't generalize and think I want to be treated this way as well, because that's not how relationships work. It just depends on individuals, right? It depends on where you're at and your relationship with that person. So if it's not working out, filter them out.
Okay. So this is a question to the panel, but also you in the chat. Feel free to weigh in on this one. Do you think that this is generational? Do you think that these softer men is a generational thing? When I think about the men of my generation and my era, they watched up watching their fathers. So they watch men be men, manly men. And now you have a generation of men who are oftentimes raised in single family homes, or just raised by their mother, or raised without men being involved, whatever the case might be. It could be that's one. I'm just throwing that one out there, but it could also be social media, access to a lot of things, a lot of opinions, perspectives that weren't around. We didn't have social media back in our day. All you had was the family, the community, the church, the village, and whatever they said is kind of what you went out into the world with. Now with social media, you can hear and see, and you're open to so many different perspectives that sometimes it drowns out your family's perspectives, beliefs, ethics,
and values.
Thank you. Girl, I was trying to get to the word. I was going to come up with a couple of words I got there. Thank you. Values. Do you think that this is generational? Anyway,
Yes, definitely. I do think there's an element of men who are raised by their mother, and they watch their mother work really hard, and she takes care of him, and he doesn't see anything else. And his mind never converts to, okay, now I'm in the hot seat where I'm the one who's supposed to take care of things. So that's a very real thing. You also find men who will say that a woman who is not killing herself is, they'll even have the audacity to call you weak. They'll call you lazy. They call you all kinds of things because all they saw was strife and struggle. And when they see a woman who just is not about that life, who's like, oh no, I'm not about that. They're just like, oh, you can't be with me because you're too weak and you're too lazy and you're too this. But that's because that's all they ever saw. Then you also get men who, even when there's two of them in the home, they expect you to take on more of the load because guess what? Mom did. And they don't even know what a man is supposed to do because he wasn't even there.
That's good. Anybody else?
And I want to add to it too. When you have a woman that is stronger and more independent, they resent you and they're angry that you're this type of woman, but they still want to be this soft man. So it's like, if I'm a soft woman and I come off soft, then that's a problem. But then if I can take care of myself and I'm independent, that's a problem too. So I feel like there's a lot of confusion. Like, do you want a soft woman or do you want what they say is, or quote unquote, a masculine woman? Because it's like, when you are able to do everything, they resent you. And then when you're not, you're resented either way. So it's like, you have to figure out, there has to be some kind of balance. Like, what do you want? Do you want this old school traditional where the man is the provider, he's the protector, he's the priest of the household? Or do you want women that, because now women are more independent and women do have educations and women are making money. Do you want that type of woman? How did we even get here is the question. We got here some way. So we need to figure out how we got there, and then we can have, broader conversations about what this looks like and why it's happening.
And then another thing, it's a double standard. Okay. And it always has been, if you look at the history that we have written and that we know about the relationships with men and women, and this is just not only just a black and white thing, but just men and women, it is a double standard. Like you said, it's like you want her to do the heavy lifting. It's women have always done the heavy lifting, whether that is emotionally keeping things together for the home. Women have always done the heavy lifting and have always been criticized for either way. You're doing it this way, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it this way, you're doing it wrong. And social media is a big problem. I think social media is the biggest problem because there's a lot of noise. And like you were saying, LaNee, before it's like you're talking in closed circles with people that you trust, people that you know, whether or not they're giving you the right advice or whatever, you're talking to people that you know who actually care about you, hopefully, right? Mm-hmm. Now, everybody has a mic and everybody has a podcast. And that is a big problem. And I think that because of that, we're taking outliers and making it mainstream. And that's a big problem.
Okay. So I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, when you get with your man, right, you want him to be the provider and the protector and the manly man, alpha, all the things, but also nurturing and communicate with you and buy you flowers and buy you roses. Some would say that's the softer side of being a man. You want your man to be soft, right? Can a man be soft and still be a leader? This is one of those.
Buying flowers isn't soft.
Go for it. Say it again.
Buying flowers and trying to make your woman happy isn't soft. Being soft is like expecting her to buy you flowers.
Okay. Anybody else?
So what
I think.
Go ahead. Who was it?
If we just think about things in general, I'm beginning to understand where he's coming from. And there is definitely a shift in generationally what's happening today. And again, looks like all the ladies have said, it's whether we like to admit it or not, is when there's a gender role reversal in the upbringing of someone and it's all together, it does affect them later on, which is what we're seeing right now, where now the man is not sure of his role. I want to be treated in a nice way, actually saying it out loud, because that's what they've seen all the time, women being in charge. So it's easy for him to actually feel comfortable saying that he wants to be, relaxing, while it's very uncommon for other cultures where there's a man present all the time to say that, because they see the man is out working, bringing things home while the mother is at home. But I can also understand wanting to be respected as a man and treated also with kindness to make you feel good. I understand that part as well. Maybe that's what it's trying to allude to. But because of social media and men wearing earrings now, putting lip gloss on, getting their nails done, watching about their hair all the time. Now you're like, okay, what are we doing here? You're spending more time in the mirror than me. It makes no
I
sense.
like that. You can't
No,
spend
I
more
don't
time
like
in the mirror than me.
So there's a shift that's happening, and we're seeing it now with young men talking openly about, oh, I want to be treated nice too. When usually you won't hear a man say that. A man wants to be a hero. He doesn't want to be sitting down and no one taking care of him. If she does it, he's grateful and he loves it. But if she doesn't do it, he doesn't verbalize it and say, well, I want you to treat me nicely too. I want to be taken care of too. It's like, okay, that's interesting, but I get it. Let's maybe show them some more love and appreciation. I don't see why not, but you asking for it is a little different. A little different.
Yeah, I think that there's someone, Deborah said it, and you guys put the comment up there. There is someone for everyone. There are women who want a man to be alpha and take care of everything, and she wants to be at home and she wants to be only a mom and do the homemaking, and that is okay. I mean, I don't know if this makes the show really short, right? That's okay. And then there are women.
Only short because you just said only a mom.
And then there are women who are independent and they have their own business and they would like also a man to come in, but he doesn't have to be an alpha. Like there are so many that we are not homogenous. And I just think that just go for the relationship and the person that fits and aligns with you. And these things won't be such a big deal. I mean, men want to be treated well. I don't think that's outlandish. Everybody should be treating everyone well.
And I'm gonna come from a different perspective. So I was actually raised by my dad, which again, that's a non-traditional thing, right? Like he literally took on 3 kids, one of them being special needs. And I seen my dad, I knew that I was protected. Things would happen. My dad showed up and he protected us, but he also cooked. He also cleaned. Like he did a lot of the things. Nothing about him is feminine. And as an adult and being a woman and having a man like that in my life, you naturally want to do things. Now, am I going to buy flowers for my father? Absolutely not. But because of the care that he provided to me and my siblings, even to this day, I'm going to love on him and I'm going to take care of him because he's always taking care of me. That's different than saying, I want a soft life and I want you to do this. Because when a woman is taken care of, the man is naturally going to be taken care of. We're going to take care of each other. We're going to look out for each other. We're going to make sure we're both safe. There's nothing that I wouldn't do to make sure that my dad was okay, because there was nothing. He did everything for us. And back in the day, it wasn't popular. Everybody, all my friends had their mother. They didn't have their father. And for us to be with our dad full time and him take on the role, and he did everything. He showed up. He was in quote unquote the soccer mom. He took us to extracurricular activities. He cooked, he cleaned. Did he do it all the time? No, but he did play all the roles in the household. And he was a very masculine man, because people would tell you he didn't play about his kids. He ain't play. He will confront you. I don't care what y'all do with anybody else, but these, don't put your hands on them. Don't touch them. And he meant that. So I feel like it's like you said, you have to make sure that we're taking care of each other. So we're focusing on one space, but taking care of each other is what it's really about. It's not about happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse. It's everybody being happy and everybody playing a role to make sure that we're all happy, not just one-sided. But again, I'm not buying flowers for a man.
I have that conversation with my guy all the time, because he jokes that it's always happy wife, and I'm like, no, it's happy house, happy spouse, happy house. He was like, no, the masses want it to be happy wife, happy life. It should be happy spouse, happy house. So we're gonna keep this conversation going. We're gonna go to another video and then we'll come right back. Actually, we're not even leaving. We're just gonna go to the side.
They don't want to be the first one to text. They don't want to be the one to pay. The whole 50-50 situation that is coming up.
Men have always gotten the princess treatment. Always. I think there has never been another time. The amount of standards men have for women is insane, okay? But the minute you have a woman that says like, hey, provide, you know, like take care of me, it's like, no, you're a gold digger. How dare you say that? But how many men would date an unattractive woman?
Exactly.
They wouldn't. They just simply wouldn't, okay? Because they have that standard. If you're unattractive, I don't want to date you. You're supposed to cook, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to take care of the kids and look good on top of that.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I'm going to cheat on you. And if you do, I'm going to cheat on you. So it's like women had to accept that. If men could get their period and could get pregnant, we would not be able to meet their standards. They would have standards through the roof.
No, for sure.
Women would not be able to meet their standards.
No.
All right, so I'm not going to address the standards question just yet, but what does princess treatment even look like for a man? Like, what do y'all think princess treatment even looks like for a man? Because I feel like when you were saying princess treatment, it's more of a soft thing. Because when I think of king treatment, right? If I think of how I would treat my man as a king, I would cook, I would clean. I am going to make sure that his needs are met. I am going to talk to him sweet. I am going to, try to meet his needs. We are going to communicate. Like, that's how I would treat a king. And I feel like all you're asking for is the same thing, but for whatever reason, you're calling it princess treatment. Or go ahead, Shalaye.
It's because what you just described is just being loving. Like I said, that's how we should be towards each other. And we're getting so lost in the weeds. And it's the internet. It's the internets and the interwebs. We're getting lost in the weeds. It's being loving towards each other. Those are all things that you do when you love somebody. It's not, and again, these men who are saying, I need this and I want this and I want that, if that's what they're saying, then they probably never had it because they probably have never authentically given that to a woman. So they're not receiving that kind of treatment. And it's because they've been inauthentic. And they haven't really been loving that woman, because if you're loving that woman, that's a natural thing for her to want to give to you and do for you. I will say this, though. And the men who are, like, again, I don't know these men, but the men who are saying they want to be treated like princesses, I know for a fact a man has to work to appreciate something. So if he is not working for you or doing something for you and you're always doing for him, that man is never going to love you and never going to appreciate you. So again, that makes me think, if these men are saying that this is what they want from a woman, they're not ready to reciprocate. They're not.
You're literally taking away the man's responsibilities. You're becoming the man.
Right.
If I gotta take you flowers, I'm basically being the pursuer, executive producer. She says something at the top of the hour that men want to be pursued. He doesn't want to call first or text first. He wants to know he's desired. So he wants to be the woman. If you want to be
a woman,
say that you want to be the woman.
Yeah. We're not talking about real men. Maybe we're talking about guys.
I think we're talking about young men.
More the fact that there are some basic masculine traits and some basic feminine traits, and both of them have needs and the way they operate. So there's nothing wrong with men wanting equal consideration. Be considerate of me as another human being. But the way it's interpreted is different. If you're treating a woman to something, it's not necessarily going to be the same thing that you would treat a woman to. For example, in our household, for example, if I was saying I'm not cooking tonight, it doesn't mean my husband has to go in the kitchen and cook. It means he might take us out for dinner. It's not the same thing. It's not always the same thing. If he gets stuck with his car somewhere out in wherever he is, he's not calling me. You see what I'm saying? But if I get stuck somewhere, I'm calling him. It's just equal consideration, but we don't do exactly the same things for each other. So it's very problematic when men say, I want to be treated exactly, I want to be proposed to, I want to be pursued, I want to be, financially taken care of, I want to be home with the kid. They don't even have it in them. It's been studied over and over. You leave a man, like if you have a man and a woman, and you leave a man in the house with the children all by himself, and I'm not talking about your dad, Dominique, I'm talking about every other dad in the world. If you leave him with children all day, every day, right? And he doesn't get to work, he doesn't get to do anything, he's just cooped up in the house, he will go nuts. But women can do that. It's because we're just not the same. We're just not the same. And it doesn't mean that he's an awful person because he can't stay in the house with his kids all morning. It's because he's better at something else. And there's the same thing that you can put a woman in a certain position that a man would excel at, and she would cry. I mean, I know I would. There's some situations that I would just burst out in tears because I just can't handle it. And I know my husband can handle it.
But that also goes back to, we have to, just as a populace, we have to stop thinking that we're all homogenous, because even though certain people have certain genitalia and certain people have another genitalia, there's just two, right? We still are different even within those groups, right? So my children's father, he loves being with the girls. Sometimes I'm like, I need a break. I'm going to Marshall's. I'll be back in 6 hours. And that man is like, he's got it. He has absolutely he's great. He's taking my daughter to her track practices and like he's doing it. If I'm like, I want to go out of town, I want to go to Aruba, I'll be back in a week. He got it. Like, so it just depends on who you're dealing with. And again, it goes back to looking for someone or seeking out someone who can align with you and what it is that you really need, because we all have different needs, whether we're a woman or a man. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I have the same needs as another woman.
But the fundamentals still stand. There are fundamentals. There are fundamentals, and the polarities exist for a reason. There's a spectrum, and some of us are sometimes on all the way on the opposite end of the spectrum, and some people are on like closer to the center. So you will get people who are very rigid about their gender roles, and then there's those who are a little more flexible. But we're talking about not switching them over, and that's where the problem starts. So on a spectrum, yeah.
I think these guys will argue that they're on the spectrum.
No, these guys are saying they want. I guess then it becomes whose spectrum, right?
Right.
That's where the individualism becomes. So Dominique and or Aisha, the words make this question. Okay. Do men deserve to be pampered the same way women do? Deserve is the word that I get caught up on. Dominique, go ahead first. What do you think?
So I go back to what I was saying. I believe that I will want to pamper my spouse, right? I would love to run the bath water. I would love to give you facials and things like that, because that's self-care. And I think that we're thinking about it like, again, bringing flowers. I'm not bringing you flowers, period. You're a man. Like, I'm not changing a tire. I'm not doing that. And I think that those are just the conversations that people need to have. But in terms of caring for my spouse, he deserves to be cared for. I'm going to care for my spouse, period. And I'm going to pose another question. Have you guys thought that maybe there are people that are creating this intentional division with these conversations? Because yes, these things really do happen, but on what scale are they really happening? How many women are really buying flowers, and how many men are really saying that I want princess treatment?
Yeah,
how many
outliers
are like saying that I want to, they're basically saying I'm a princess and I want princess treatment. How many men have you really heard actually say that? You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
I do believe, like, I am a little more traditional. I'm not changing a tire. I don't want to take out garbage. There's certain things that I don't want to do. And I have made that clear, which there's certain things that my husband he does not want to do. He does not want to wash dishes. That's fine. Those are the conversations that we've had. But I think that in terms of care, concern, and consideration for your partner, it's different than princess treatment.
Okay. I can support that. So I like to take care of my man type of a woman, right? I take good care of myself. But I like for my man to be, I know that there are women that feel like all eyes on me. You take care of me. You take me out. I'm the woman. I'm the prize. And I'm okay with that woman. No shade, no tea to that woman. I am those things, but he is that for me as well, right? He is my prize. He is my guy. I want him to feel loved and adored the same way he loves on it and adores me. If we go out to dinner, we were literally talking about this last night. There's this place here. I had never even been there before until I started dating him. And we went there one night. There's this tower, this meal that he likes to get is $220. Whenever we go, it's like a $500 bill. And I'm like, who spends $500 on dinner? Like, it was like it blows my mind, right? And so whenever we go there, he always gets the bill. And so for Christmas, not last year, Christmas the year before last, I was like, we have a rule. If the bill is over 200, you get it. If it's under 200, I might get it, right? And so we were going to this restaurant. It's Christmas. And I was like, I got dinner tonight. And he was like, you got dinner? I was like, yes. He was like, can I get my tower? I was like, yes. He was like, you paying? I was like, yes. He was like, we'll see when we get there. So we get there. We eat, we have a great time. It's Christmas Eve, we're doing our Christmas night or whatever. And the bill comes and he reaches for the bill. And I was like, I said, I got it. I had never spent that much money on food before a day in my life. And I haven't since then. But when we left, the smile on his face and how he held my hand, he was like, nobody has ever taken me or paid for my dinner at like this. He was like, I'm the person who's always taking and doing. And so whenever I get an opportunity to do a little for him, it just makes him feel so good, right? And so I don't mind pampering or doing the little things for him because he does so much for everybody else. He's the go-to guy. And when you're the go-to guy or the go-to man, sometimes people don't think you need anything. You have it all together. And so I think it's kind of good to kind of pamper, not baby. He will say to me, don't look to me to be soft. Don't look to me to be feminine. And yet he's like a big old teddy bear. I tell him all the time, I was like, you got cotton candy on the inside, right? I was like, your outside is like, rah, but your inside is candy, cotton candy. He doesn't like when I say that, but it's just being a man's man and knowing when to be, okay, babe, you smell good. Or, just do a little, it's not, and I don't want to say soft, but it's like the I'll think of it. We're gonna go to another video. We're gonna come back, and I'll have a word for by the time we come back.
Doesn't the part come out behind closed doors only, though?
Say it again.
Doesn't it only come out behind closed doors? Like, he's not gonna act like a baby or soft or whatever in public and in front of other people, but when he's alone with you, he softens more.
I would say yes, if we're going to use the word soften, but soften wasn't the word that I wanted to use as much as it might even just be tender, like how a man is with you alone, right? So if we're in, he's gonna get my chair. He's gonna make sure I'm taken care of. Like, and it's not being soft. It's just being attentive. It might be more of the word, and that's not behind closed doors. That's in public. That's if I'm walking, he's gonna get my hand. That's if, and some men might be like, man, it don't take all that. You don't got to get every door. You don't got to get it. Listen, if I reach for that door, if we're going out. Sometimes I'd be like, can I get the door? Like, when do I get the door? We going to the movies? Can I get the door at the movies? Like, and so he'll be like, if we are out, especially if we pull up the valet, so now it's like just kind of learn. I'm like, dude, we at the grocery store. I can get out the grocery store and go shopping. But now I know certain, like if we dress, we out to dinner. If we run into the store and I'm getting out, I can get like it's little things to know how not to step on the man's man, but also let him be there to assist and to love and do it in a masculine way, I think. And I think that's what we're not understanding. What is soft versus what is just a man being a man and being tender and being attentive. I don't want my executive producer to throw her papers up. So let's go to the next video.
Dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine. Say I get your number, you give me your schedule, and I plan a date. If for some reason you're busy on that date and you can't make it, it is up to you to give me the day that you're free or your next availability. I'm not about to keep asking. That's too close to begging. Play with somebody else. Number 2, if you ask me in our first few dates for nail, hair, shoe money, you're clipped. You're looking for a sponsor. You're not looking for a relationship. All these things aren't already done. I don't care how much money I got. It's mine that I work for. Don't ask me to do some shit that you're not doing for yourself. Number 3, if by the 3rd or 4th date, you don't at least offer to buy a round of drinks or treat me to the next one, you're clipped. You're not a vibe. You're a bill. I would never let you pay, but at least offer. Make me think you want to pay. And if you forget to say thank you after I done planned and paid for this date, you're clipped. It don't cost you nothing to say thank you. Number 4, if I offer to pick you up or send you a car, you have a 5-minute window to get there. You knew about this date a day earlier and hours earlier. You should have been ready. I have pulled off after waiting 7 minutes before. You don't respect my time. I don't respect yours. Number 5, if we cannot do an active date, all right, tennis, hike, workout, it's clipped. You're clipped. I know me, I'm gonna catch the ick real fast. We just ain't gonna work out, literally or figuratively. Number 6, you like to go ghost for 2 and 3 days, or I find that you only respond when I text first, you're a clip. Ain't nobody that busy. It'll take you 10 seconds to respond to a message. Hey, busy day, I'll check for you later. That works for me, because I don't need to talk to you every day, all day anyway. There is a huge difference from texting, which is mutual, and you just responding. Fuck out of here. Number 7, probably should have been number 1. Poor hygiene. It's gonna be a firm no for me. That breath ain't hitting, if them toes ain't kicking, and if them nails ain't clean, it ain't gotta be done, just be clean. Your ass is clipped. You're a woman. It's the least you can do. And then lastly, I'm a little bit more lenient on this one because I don't expect much. We just started dating. If I see that you just innately lack nurturing qualities, it's clipped. I can't teach you how to be a woman to a man. You should not teach me how to be a man to a woman. Can't teach you that. It's clipped.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you could be saying something good, but how you deliver it is messes the whole thing up. So I don't necessarily hate what he's saying, but his delivery sucks. It makes me be like, get the fuck out of here. But you're not wrong in some of the things that you're saying. Like, you should not be asking a man to get your nails and stuff done on day 2, day 3. You should not be looking for like some of it is right, but you better fix how you say it to me. You better fix how you talk. Like, I can't even hear what you're saying because you're sassy and your message is wrong. It's bad. Your message is wrong. Delivery unnerves me. It makes me be like, oh God, smash face. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
We'll start with Aisha. We'll do round robin. We'll start with Aisha.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny. I think it's a delivery. It's all about the delivery, the way he was talking. But a lot of his points made sense. If you're dealing with someone, it's about respect and just being considerate of the person, right? I get it. But the way he delivered and the way he was counting one at a time, it's like, okay,
and you listen to them.
I will also cut you as well. If that's how you are as a man, I will also cut you, because then it means I'll clip you, I guess, because then it means the way you come off is almost as if it's not a relationship any longer. It's a transaction. It's a transaction. And nobody wants that. If that's how you come off, it's a transaction. Instead, you have to be, we're humans. In the beginning, there's going to be the push and pull. But again, it depends on who you're doing it for. If somebody you really care about, all those things will go out the window. You won't have this clip, because you care about them so much. But if it's a transaction, then of course the clip counts, right? And unfortunately, though, that's what's happening today, because the proportion of, or the ratio of men and women is so huge that actually a man can talk like that, right? Instead of being respectful of a woman, he's already clipping her off because she doesn't do this, even though what he's asking for it's okay, it makes sense, but we're just dating. We're not even, our families have not even met yet. That is why, I believe in that arranged marriages. It actually works, because people can't like, sometimes all these crazy people you meet out there telling you, I'll clip you. Like, who are you? Like, really? So, yeah. But it's funny to watch him say that. The delivery was terrible.
Delivery is terrible. And a lot of these videos and these conversations are from young folks. But Dominique, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that video?
I'm not mad at him liking what he likes, but I agree. I think it's a bit harsh. But again, it's social media. He's doing it for views. He's trying to get attention. He's trying to get a like. And so he's just harsh about how he says it. And I think that, you have to have these conversations. And so when you're dating, you're dating to have the conversations and to ask the questions and figure out what you like and learn more about this person, so you can decide early on if this is somebody that I want to pursue or I want to move forward with. Because some of these things, these questions are, you know, can be answered early on and you realize like, nah, this is not going to work. Anybody that's asking you to get their nails done and do certain things that early on has poor etiquette, because who does that? Like, that doesn't make sense. And so that's somebody that you probably wouldn't want to pursue, because, you know, this is early on and you're asking for this already. What happens in the end? I do think his delivery was poor, but I think he's doing it for likes, as opposed to really thinking about what he's saying. I agree, but you're just doing it for likes. It's harsh.
See, and I don't know if I agree with that, only because I also kind of feel like that this quote unquote soft man era, this treat me like a princess thing, is in response to some women. But women, you got to do this for me. You got to take care of me. You got to have a car. You got to do that. I think it's a response. Like, well, hold on a second. You want all these things. What do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's this new thing is, I'm the prize. You take care of me. I don't got to do nothing. You do everything. You do it all. And I think it's kind of like, well, hold on a second. I'm willing to do, but let's do it respectfully. Because again, some of the stuff he said, it wasn't wrong as much as it, I don't know. Go ahead, Shalaye. What do you think?
I have a whole bunch of thoughts. Okay. So it sounds like he's been hurt or has had this experience. Like he named how many?
This list was long as hell.
It was a long list. So you've dated all these women who have behaved in this way. What kind of standard are you not setting in the beginning with your presence? That you have had all of these experiences, and it's like, nope. Again, I go back to, if you're showing up as a transactional man, you're going to get a transactional woman. If you're showing up as a man who is authentic and not trying to be interesting, but actually interested in the person, you're probably going to have some conversations before y'all even get to the date. You should be having conversations before you get to the date. And if you're having conversation where you're actually interested in that person, you're going to decipher some things before you get to that point. So one thing is not happening, like the cart before the horse. I don't know what's happening, but it sounds like he needs some therapy. It sounds like he's had a lot of bad experiences. It sounds like he's been dating in Middle Earth. And, again, we're talking about the outliers. I don't know any women. I'm not saying they don't exist. I know they exist. But I don't know women in my family, in my circle, or, my sphere, who are demanding men to pay for their nails, to pay their rent. You got to do this. And I've never seen it. So again, I think that some of the issue here is the internet and the interwebs. And these are outlier situations. And we're bringing it to the forefront. So it seems like it's the norm, but I don't think it is.
You got way too many.
They're out there.
I mean, they are out there, but you have a lot of internet pushers that are pushing propaganda. Some of like kind of what Dominique. You do have those folks. And I think that's what the internet does. It just gives everybody an opinion and a voice and a right and wrong. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong, because you can always find somebody to validate what you say. That is one of the things about the internet that I don't like. Go ahead, Noma.
I want to offer a little bit of different perspective. I agreed with him wholeheartedly when he talked about I don't have to do your nails and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, there does need to be some feminine, nurturing energy coming from a woman for you to be attracted to her if you're a healthy masculine man. Of course, cleanliness is everybody's baseline. And I wanted to say about that whole thing about doing nails and all that other stuff. Do you know that there are different women? There are women who don't have to ask to have their nails done and all of these other things. He will just offer based on the woman that you are. So these men who are saying, well, you shouldn't ask me for this and this and that. Yeah, they've ran into some chicken heads. They're literally women who do not have to ask for anything. You don't have to ask. There's something about you that makes a man respond to you in a certain way. And that is an art form. And that is what I think is often missing from the modern women or the so-called modern women. There is an art form about how a man will respond to you. And I think what happens with a lot of us women is we don't we don't want to admit that we don't even know what that is. When we see it in another woman, we don't know what it is. All it is, well, I ain't da 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 da. Just pay attention and listen, learn, understand what it is that woman has that makes a man respond to her that way that you don't have. And that's a starting point. That's how you get your life better. That's how you attract better men. That's how you get men, if you want commitment, who will commit, as opposed to those who will use you. You set a standard without opening your mouth. And the problem is people keep opening their mouths to set standards. There's something about a woman when she walks into a room, you already know her standards without her saying anything. It's the way she's dressed. It's the way she's carrying herself. It's the tone of her voice, the volume of her voice. There's so much that she's telling you, and a healthy, masculine, normal man will respond accordingly. And she doesn't have to keep talking about, well, I ain't gonna do this, and he has to do, that's a chicken head. I'm sorry, that is a chicken head.
First of all, I ain't heard chicken head in a long time, okay?
I know, I'm myself.
She said chicken head, I almost fell out, okay? I ain't heard that terminology, but you're right? I think these younger ladies, these younger women, they don't know that. Like I think that they believe.
They're young though, LaNee. They're not all young. You get older women.
I guess that's true too. That's true too.
Yeah, they could be
don't realize
older.
you catch more bees than honey.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to another video. Let's go to another video.
To me, they have been reaching out to me in my DMs, and I was kind of ignoring it, just leaving them on red because I'm not interested. And today they consistently message me, and so I said, okay, I'll answer. This morning I had a shampoo appointment, and so I answered, and they were like, am I disturbing you? And I said, I don't converse with men that I don't know. And they said, well, let's change that. And I said, well, I'm actually on the way to go get my hair done. You gonna contribute to that? They sent a long paragraph asking me to explain why they should do that. And they said now they understand the kind of woman that I am, on and on and on. And I said, no problem, no worries, have a good day. I feel like this. I keep my nails done, keep my toes done. So nails, toes, every month. I get my hair done every month. This is a luxury style. I keep my hair up, right? So getting my hair done every month. Nails, toes, hair. I own my home. I got an acre of land. I have to get my grass cut. I get my yard work done by myself. All of that is covered by myself. I have a nice body. I get that done in the gym. I have a gym membership. I clothe my nice body with nice clothes. And so I have to go shopping. And I wear makeup, which I enjoy. And in the comments, I don't care what you got to say about makeup. But I also spend money on that. And so to keep this up, I also eat on a meal plan that I have created. And so for that meal plan, I have to go grocery shopping to eat off of the meal plan that I have created. And so all of this takes money. All of this takes money to upkeep this. And so why am I having free conversations? And it is okay. It is okay if you don't feel the way that I feel and you are having free conversations. But I think about this, especially if you're messaging me when I'm on the way to an appointment where I'm about to spend hundreds of dollars to get my hair washed. And
all right, so this particular woman is going viral because of...
Oh, and hear what he had to say. But okay.
So what's your problem with foreheads, huh? What's your problem?
Listen, I don't got a problem with a forehead, but make sure your eyebrows
I'm
nice.
talking about foreheads. What is the problem exactly?
Somebody who says, is this AI? Her forehead looks unreal. So Shay, big foreheads need love too. Don't be out here tripping. I think it's going to take me a long time to be comfortable with this forehead, okay? Not have to have no bangs on it. Okay? Don't be out here banging on foreheads, making me come through here. Now let's talk about what she had to say. Okay? Anonymous. Anywho, what? These type of women are the women to give women a bad name.
That's right.
These
She
type
can
right
just not answer the message if you're not interested in talking. But then how do you get to know people if you don't talk to them? And what does a conversation, how does that equate getting your nails done? I'm confused.
I'm confused.
You can just reschedule the conversation after you're done. Like,
no, it's a transaction.
Bothering you.
Or don't answer the conversation if you don't want to talk, period. Right. If he's in your inbox on social media, block, don't answer. It goes back to what Noma was saying in terms of showing up, like your actions, not necessarily your words. Her words are saying all these things, but you're showing up as what men would say is masculine. You know, who wants to even be bothered with that? Because that's like, she overwhelmed me as a woman, because I was like, that's a whole lot in general. Like, he just was he's trying to get to know you. How you get to know people if you don't have a conversation? And if you're not interested, just don't respond, block them, ignore it, period.
Folks are getting the wrong message. A couple of things. One, young ladies and some grown women are not being raised and taught how to be women and wives, not girlfriends, wives. I think people are getting dating and relationship mixed up with being a girlfriend and being a wife, and the expectations and or what should be given to you, what you should receive, and what you should be doing in the reverse, right? This is how I say it. I say, when you meet somebody, you're introduced to them. That's the first thing you do. You meet them. Then you start dating them. Okay, let's kick it a little bit. But you're still seeing other people. You are dating them. And then you decide to see each other exclusively. You know what? Let's exclusively date. We are still dating exclusively, meaning we're not seeing anybody else, but we're exclusive. From that point, we can decide.
That's a scam.
If we want to be in relationship. Now, if we want to be in relationship, now I might introduce you to my family a little bit and get you a little bit closer. From there, we go into being married or whatever the case might be. But people are doing married stuff when they meet somebody. You meet them, you sleep with them. You meet them, you start going out, cooking for them, doing all the things. You're not married, they may have 2, 3, 4, 5 other women doing the thing. And now you sitting out here talking about, you got to give me, you got to do, you got to show up. Who are you? How are you telling somebody what they should and should not be doing and can and can't do it on both sides, not just on one? But we only 2, 3 dates into this thing. And you're telling me what I got to do and what I can't do and what I should do and what I him do. I think women are listening to other women who, first of all, I always tell people, if you are married women shouldn't be asking their single friends for advice. That's the first thing. Who are these young ladies listening to that are getting the advice on how they're going to go into relationship and date? It better not be the rap music and the Cardi B's of the world and the relationship, like the songs, the lyrics. Like, there's so much that just leads our young people and grown folks, I would say women, astray when it comes to relationship and the dynamics of relationships and the roles and how you should show up and what you should do, that I feel has gotten us out here looking like this.
But LaNee, chicken heads can have kids. A chicken head can literally have a kid. A chicken head can have a kid and then tell her all that garbage. And then she's grandma now and she's telling her granddaughter that. And it just passes on and on and on. It's not really always the media. It's not always out there. They're really
it's not.
Who are trash, and they teach their daughters trash, and the daughters teach their granddaughters trash, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And then you get to a point where, like, dysfunction is actually normalized, to the point when you tell people about things that actually work and that will actually heal us and turn us around as a community, they resist it because it doesn't feel normal to them.
But I think that's where social media steps in and makes it worse, because social media perpetuates it, right? It takes something that is already bad and it intensifies it, it multiplies it, and then you start to hear more of it. So you really start to believe, well, maybe it's okay. Because more people are talking about it, more people are accepting it. Okay, let me do the stats and then we'll get to our final thoughts. Producer,
deep breaths, LaNee.
Huh?
I said deep breaths. You're like,
girl, this is crazy. So a Pew Research study found that 63% of men under 30 are single, compared to about 34% of women under 30. This shows a major imbalance in the dating market and how expectations are shifting. The United States Census Bureau reports women now make up nearly half of the workforce, and in many households, women are earning equal to or more than men, which is changing relationship dynamics. Okay. Studies show women still perform more unpaid labor in relationships, including emotional labor, childcare, and household management, even when they work full-time. Is that the last one? Okay, cool. All right. So for our last question. Try to make it a good one. Here's a good one. What does a balanced relationship actually look like? That's going to be our final question for today's conversation. Answer, please keep your answer short if you can, and tell people where they can find you. Okay, Dominique, we'll start with you.
Okay, so you asked about a balanced relationship.
Yeah, what does a balanced relationship actually look like?
Like to me, it looks like give and take. You know, I take care of you, you take care of me, and we're doing it for the objective is to take care of the household in general. I want to make sure you're good. You make sure I'm good, which means our household is good. So when I'm thinking about balance, that's balance, like being right in the middle. Nobody, you know, making sure that we're both equally supported, equally taken care of emotionally in all aspects, just taking care of each other. Human decency to me is balance.
Human decency. Okay. And where can people find you?
So you can find me on all social media platforms at the Whitmore Group. And you can go to our website at thewhitmoregroup.com, and we are able to assist you in all things real estate throughout the United States.
Love it. All right, Aisha, same question to you. What does a balanced relationship actually look like today?
Balanced relationship to me is all about reciprocity, right? Whatever you think you want for yourself, you also want to want for the other person. You can't want for yourself but not want for the other person. Then it's just not balanced. Then it means it's one-sided. So it's about respect, love, and just showing appreciation. But at the end of the day, the law of reciprocity. Whatever you want for yourself, you want for the other person. That's, to me, that's just what balance looks like. Where can you find me? At aishaverzi.com, but more importantly, at the Black Business School as one of the coaches, and help you with insurance or any of your retirement planning. Can help you. Thank you.
I love it. All right, Nomalanga, what does a balanced relationship actually look like today?
I think a balanced relationship, it's actually more important now to have balanced relationships than ever. It's just two service-oriented people, people whose pride, arrogance, and ego can be put aside and they just want to serve. Now, it has to be reciprocal. It's very dangerous if one person shows up to serve and one shows up to take. So if you get two service-oriented people and they show up to serve each other, they keep an open mind about what the needs of their spouse is, it works really well as long as they stay in that service mindset, and they're willing to do what it takes to make sure that their partner has what they need, and they serve them the best way that they can based on, again, their needs. And I think we just don't have enough of that now. So let's restore that service mindset to our families. Where you can find me, before I talk about where you can find me, I want to ask for your support for our charity, which is based in Botswana. I am the founder. It is padsforourgirls.com. We supply pads, sanitary pads, supplies to young girls who are in school who cannot afford it. Some of them miss school because they do not have these supplies. So if you feel inclined, please support us at padsforourgirls.com. Even the smallest amount counts. Where you can find me on Instagram, I'm MZ, Ms. Nomalanga. On Facebook, I'm Nomalanga Khaburoni. I'm a real Facebooker. You'll find me a lot on Facebook. And then my product of the month is my ebook. You can find that at themochamoguls.com, at themochamoguls.com. Thank you, ladies. Great conversation.
Awesome. I love it. And our last queen, but never the least, Ms. Shalaye.
Yeah, so I believe that it all starts with each person either knowing themselves first or putting in the work to really know themselves before getting into a relationship, or even sometimes we just get into the relationships, right? And then a lot of times we grow in these relationships, but you got to be open to grow. And it is all about what all of the ladies said. It's about reciprocity. It's about respect. It's about recognizing the humanity in each other and serving each other and making sure that we're just treating each other well. I think it's really, really simple, but sometimes simple ain't easy, I guess. So you can find me, so I can help you buy or sell real estate all across the US and Canada. And you can find me at Shalaye Camillo on IG. Visit our website, Vital Source Realty, and I'd love to help you. Also, next week, the 17th, I will be hosting a masterclass for real estate if you're ready to buy in 2026 in the Black Business School. So go to drboycerealestate.com and you can sign up for that class.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I'll answer the question too. What does a balanced relationship actually look like today? It's literally everything that everyone said. I think it's reciprocity. I think it's communication. I think it is letting the man be the man. I think it's letting the woman be the woman. I think it's taking care of each other, nurturing each other. I think it's pampering. I think it is communication. I think it is communication. I think it is communication. Knowing, speaking through the roles and the expectations. And Nomalanga talks a lot about, community, right? A lot of that stuff is talked about before you even get into the relationship. You kind of know people are speaking. I think people are going into relationships blind, not knowing the person, not knowing the expectations are, that person's history, that person's family, their values. And you just end up in a relationship and now you don't know who's on first, what you expect. What am I supposed to do? Oh, that's what you thought a wife was? I didn't think, we just don't know, folks. Communicate. Express what you want from your wife. As a woman, express what you want from your husband. Like, go into a relationship knowing this other person. Bring in your family and friends in. Let people get to know each other. Get some way in. We do a lot of things in silo and alone and in isolation because we know that person ain't right for us. And we don't want nobody else to say it. And so we end up with stuff in situations, and it doesn't have to be like that. I think we need to get back to community. And I think that is what will help us to not only balance out our relationships, but to surround ourselves with people who want to see us win in relationship and will help us to fight for our relationships. And so that's my 2 cents. I'm Dr. LaNee Javette. Boom. You can find me at thebrilliantstrategist.com. That is my link for all of my links. Everything that I do, from business strategies to my community, to Black Power, to all things. And so, being that this is Black History Month, we are doing a Black History fact in each one of our shows. And so today I'm doing Maggie Lena Walker, who was the first woman of any race to charter and run a bank in the United States, proving Black women were executing complex financial systems in the early 1900s. She was the first woman. In 1903, she launched St. Luke Penny Savings Bank to serve Black communities shut out of the financial system. The bank helped thousands buy homes, start businesses, and build generational wealth. And it survived the Great Depression by merging strategically instead of collapsing. And so there is our Black History fact for today. This was a needed conversation because relationships are not supposed to feel like a competition. If everybody is trying to be the prize, nobody is trying to build. And if nobody is building, nobody is winning. The truth is, softness is not the problem. Wanting love is not the problem. Wanting care is not the problem. The real issue is when people want benefits without responsibility. So hopefully today's conversation made some people think a little deeper about what they're really asking for and what they're really offering. Thank you to our queens for being here, and thank you to everybody watching in the chat. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Fly Nubian Money, and we'll see you tomorrow right here. Have a blessed day. Stay Black, be proud, and be one. We'll see you tomorrow.